Alright guys, so I'm actually recording this at a little bit of a later time. You may notice that my, my shirt did change, so I do apologize for that. However, we're going to pick it up right where we left off, so here we go. History wasn't exactly fun, but our teacher was great. At least we would have been great if he was in class that day. Naomi and Suzu took their seats around me, Suzu in front of me, Naomi beside me. Before the class bell rang, the class was greeted by the dean. Oh shit.
Students, you'll be having a substitute for class today.
Oh.
Everyone meet
Diana? Is it freaking Miss Diana?
Miss Diana.
Oh my goodness, Miss Diana. It's such a wonderful pleasure. Oh my god. Yo, you know all the little dudes in this class are like jaw on the desk, you know what I'm saying? My heart stopped at the door with the dean was Diana. At the door with the dean was Diana. Looking over the students and smirking as her eyes landed on me, she started to the teacher's desk, ignoring or welcoming the whispers from the other students before sitting on the wood and crossing her legs. How is she allowed to be a substitute in that? I mean, if I was the principal, I'd be like, ma'am, you will need to put on a sweater or something before you go teach.
Thank you, Dean. You can go now.
Oh, right. She's using her powers. That's right.
Thank you, Dean. You can go now.
I can go back? I really wish I knew that before. How far can I go back? Oh my goodness.
You can go now.
That would have really been helpful. Oh well, oh well.
So, history. History. Such a silly thing, isn't it? I mean, what do we care about the past? We're in the present.
I mean, true, but you learn from the past. So, maybe you might want to take heed. The rest of the class, including Naomi and Suzu, hesitantly nodded in agreement. Unsure about this new teacher, but willing to listen to more of what she had to say. Yeah, because they don't like history, man. They don't want to be in class. They're like, oh, this makes sense. This lady makes sense.
The present is so full of wonderful things. While the labors of the past are the reason we have many things, it is our chance and privilege to utilize what has been given to us.
Her charm was almost infectious. The class was practically starting to eat out of each other's hand. I looked around to see classmates grinning and agreeing with Diana. I pressed my lips together as I listened further. I had no choice.
What's even funnier about human beings is that some of the bits of history we hear as either made up or completely biased to one side. It's like a story you read as a child. You hear of the princess and the prince, and they live happily ever after. But what about the family she left behind? What of her friends?
The students listened and agreed intently to her words. I could tell, however, that these words were all targeted at me. Yeah, of course they were. She's a real sly chick. I wonder if she's using the powers on these kids. Probably not, though.
The original story of The Little Mermaid. A perfect example of biased opinion. Here we have a girl who thinks she can be with this prince, but this prince has to marry a princess. What would happen if the mermaid had her way? What makes the mermaid so important that the princess has to suffer the consequences?
Oh, are we going to tell this teacher to be quiet? It doesn't matter what happens to the princess. We should, keep quiet. I kind of want to say something. We're going to say it doesn't matter what happens to the princess. She is not going to be happy about this because I'm pretty sure the princess is her. So here we go. The rest of the class turned their heads to me. Naomi and Suzu looked at me with equally surprised looks. I kept my eyes to Diana. If I was the mermaid, I wasn't going to let the princess take my prince away. Oh, this is about to be like a magical cat fight. Diana stared at me before smiling and turning her body to fully face me.
Oh? And why does it not matter?
The story isn't about the princess. The story is about the mermaid and the prince. Yo.
But that is exactly my point. While the story talks about the mermaid and the prince's romance, we don't see the problems of the kingdom the prince rules. While we are all fixated with this love story, we ignore the fact the kingdom would fall apart without the marriage between the prince and princess.
She kept her eyes to me as she spoke. I knew she wanted to make her words stick in my mind, but I didn't listen. It was one thing to be a fictional story. It was another to try and ruin someone's life for selfishness. Diana chuckled and looked back to the class.
Well, luckily in the real story of The Little Mermaid, the mermaid knows that what she was doing was wrong, and she threw herself into the ocean, turning into sea foam.
No way. Is that legit? I don't. Is that legit? I don't know. I don't know. That would be pretty ridiculous. She like commit suicide or some shit. I mean, that's what it sounds like. She did, you know, being sea foam isn't technically being alive. Some of the students that surrounded me mumbled in surprise, obviously not knowing the real story. However, Diana was wrong once again. Oh, do we know the real story? Are we that dastardly? That's not true. Oh, history teacher getting dominated. Once again, the class looked to me, and Diana faced me with another smile.
Not true. How so?
Oh shit, man, we googled this. The trade-off for becoming human was marrying the prince or turning into sea foam. However, she was also given the choice to kill the prince and turn back into a mermaid. The mermaid didn't because she loved him and sacrificed herself for that love. Get dominated. Did you know that? That is the story worth telling. Not some princess getting her way, but of a tragedy that had befallen on a girl who only wanted love. Yo. How about we switch seats? Like you just got schooled, son. The class applauded me and Suzu. Applauded me with Suzu giving me her usual punch to my shoulder and Naomi smiling at my logic. Oh my god. Diana, however, finally grew an almost angry face at me.
Interesting. So what you are saying is that the princess should be given no mind.
Pretty much. The story is not about the princess. The story is about the mermaid, and the mermaid should have gotten her prince.
Even at the risk of a kingdom falling apart?
Yeah, maybe. Even if the entire world fell apart around them, the duty does not overrule love, and the princess needs to realize this. We're talking in present tense. This is funny. The applause that followed that intensified with whoops and hollers. I felt a wave of confidence roll through my body. Oh, she must be pissed. We better be careful before she nukes the whole classroom because I feel like that could happen. Diana wasn't going to win. I wasn't going to let her. We're using straight knowledge, man. We're laying facts on her. She best take out her notepad and start taking notes. Diana then stopped talking and looked to the clock on the wall. Reading it quickly, this class had barely begun. Why was she looking at the same time? Diana then leaned against the blackboard and smiled to us. I became worried.
You know what? School isn't important. Everyone, go ahead and head home. Take the week off.
The week? Take the week off? You know everyone is so happy right now. The students suddenly began to chat happily or in confusion of the situation. Many thought it was a dream come true, others knew better. Before anyone could protest, however, Diana pressed a finger to her lips and counted down with her fingers in the air. 3, 2, 1. The speakers of the classroom gently awoke, giving us an announcement we would never believe.
Attention students, due to an emergency faculty meeting, we will be closing school for the remainder of the day and this entire week. Please leave the school quickly and quietly and have a good rest of the week.
Holy shit. I wish this happened. I mean, not this, but I wish that happened when I was in school, man.
Have a nice week off. School will resume next week.
Many of the students filed out, chatting to each other about new impromptu plans. Suzu was beyond happy, but Naomi was hesitant. Before we could pack up and leave, however, Diana stepped to us. Oh no, not my friends.
Excuse me, little miss. I'd like you to stay a little while. There's something we need to discuss.
No, let Suzu and Naomi leave, man. As Diana looked to Suzu and Naomi, she snapped her fingers, making my friends tense up. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man.
You two can head home.
Oh, thank goodness.
Don't worry about your friend until next week, okay? If you contact her, she won't reply, so don't bother. If she contacts you, ignore her, because she's just fine.
Oh, my goodness. This is so screwed up, man. I'm about to have like a classroom brawl or something. I slammed my hands on the desk in front of me and glared at Diana. What are you doing? And what are you thinking?
What? Do I not make a good teacher? I figured you should have a little lesson, so I took matters into my own hands.
Whatever you're trying to do won't work.
You really think so, dear? And what makes you so sure about that?
All of the uncertainties about this whole ordeal began to cloud my mind. If the boys were ever found out, there'd be hell to pay. Was it worth it? What about Diana? What would she do to me? Would she make my parents forget about me completely? Would she ruin my friends' lives out of spite? Damn, yeah, that's like a real problem. I mean, seriously, I don't want that to happen. In my gut, I felt a stone of confidence try to fight back, but the heaviness of my thoughts began to dissolve that stone little by little. What was going on with me? I looked up to Diana once again to see her gaze boring into my eyes. Oh, she's doing something. She was using her powers on me. This time, I was away from home, so I couldn't escape. Or could I? Did I want to? The way she stared at me made me feel warm and fuzzy inside my chest. I felt like melting. No, man. Diana lifted a hand under my chin and ran her thumb over my lips, licking her own. The fuck? I could feel little shots of energy zipping from under my skin into my chin where she held me.
Now, let's have a little taste of that sweet, virginal sexual energy.
Well then, Diana, you're taking it to the next level, apparently. Holy crap. Wow. I watched as she leaned in, ready to kiss me and take my energy. Half of my body felt elation at the idea. The other half completely rejected it and didn't want her to even touch me. James, that's not his name. It's not going to come. Diana suddenly stopped in her tracks. Oh, maybe it did. Oh, shit.
James, who is...
Uh-oh. The golden gun, is it coming back? The golden knight? It then dawned on her.
Ah, one of the boys. Why don't you tell me which boy is James?
Oh, shit. We're going to say the name? I felt myself nod in compliance. We're going to call it... She's going to... Okay, that's like... I don't think she knows that if we say the name of the dude, he's going to come here and things are going to get bad for her. The oldest. Oh, no. That's not what I expected to happen. Diana giggled in reply before letting go of my face and stepping back.
Really? The eldest son with you?
Why is that so hard to believe? We're obviously hot as shit. I nodded once again, but this time it was partly my own decision to reply. Diana let out a sound that mimicked a cat's purr. What? Before stepping away from me.
All right, then. Well, if it's the eldest son you're infatuated with, you should really rethink your romantic options.
Why? Diana chuckled before kissing my nose, where I felt a shot of energy zap out of my body, almost making me dizzy and recoil. Diana then turned to the desk and sat on the wood, crossing her legs.
You can go now. Remember, no class for the rest of the week.
See, I don't understand this. Like, okay, I know it's harsh, but I mean, the purpose is James, right? That's the guy that we're into right now. So, I mean, one of these other dudes that's into Diana that, thinks she's popping should just go with her and it's problem solved, right? She only needs one. She doesn't need all five. All right. And how am I supposed to get home? My two friends left me here thanks to you.
Oh, were they your ride?
Fuck
My
off.
Apologies. Let me help then.
Oh, we're about to get tellied. Diana then lifted her hand and snapped her fingers. I suddenly felt the floor sink from underneath me, forcing me to look down. A purple pentagram surrounded my feet, pulling me into the ground. Whoa! Before I could fight, however, I sank fully into the floor, fading into darkness and shutting my eyes. As I opened them, I felt my silk sheets around me, soothing my anxiety from the darkness that had previously surrounded me. What the? Why did Diana bring me home? Was this an illusion? Was I being tricked? Something was going on. I sat up in bed, looking around me. I was indeed in my room. There was no mistake about that. Why? Diana is too strange. Was this a game? Was this part of her plan to get the boys back? I was lost and confused more than ever. Despite my logical thought trying to piece the puzzle that is Diana together, the more I tried to solve her, the less I understood about the situation I was in. I was interrupted, however, by my door suddenly opening, revealing the boys with Damien's hand on the doorknob.
Miss, what are you doing here?
What do you mean? This is my house.
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
Oh yeah, about that. School's out for the week. I furrowed my eyebrows, and what is that? Furrowed my eyebrows and started at Damien. Asked him to answer their questions through my thoughts.
Diana sent her back here. She invaded her school and sent all the students back home.
I mean, I'm sure they're loving it, but...
What's that bitch up to? Seriously, Diana's playing around for no reason.
Maybe it's part of her plan.
The boys continued to argue back and forth about Diana, fueling an almost jealous curiosity in me. Damien seemed to be too deep within the talking to notice my thoughts, for he didn't even stop talking alongside his brothers. Why was Diana after them? Why did she want to bring them back? What was so important about the boys that she would travel to the human world to get them? What was going on? I decided enough was enough. I needed answers. Hey! The boys stopped arguing, staring at me in surprise. I held my hands and fists on my lap, mustering the courage to continue to speak despite my abrupt shout. Why my name is Diana, I almost said that. Why is Diana here? Why does she want to bring you all back. What exactly did you all run from, and why did you run from it?
Miss, we...
Oh, you gonna tell me you can't tell me, dude? Don't miss me. Oh shit, please. I need to know what's going on. I won't be left in the dark about this. I want to know what I am facing. The boys looked at each other hesitantly, unsure of what to reply. Finally, Sam pushed Damien towards the bed, making him buckle and land on his knees with his torso over the edge of the mattress. What?
Damien, do the thing.
Do the thing? What the fuck? The thing? What thing?
Sam, you're not suggesting.
Fuck?
Why not? She deserves to know everything, especially if Diana is targeting her.
Oh, can he make the thoughts go like both ways? Like he can make his thoughts go into her mind? That'd be cool, dude.
Sam's right.
It's like some Inception stuff.
I guess we have no choice then.
Except without all that crazy mind diving. I was getting confused. What was Damien about to do? Damien stood before climbing onto the bed with me. Well then, sitting across from me on his knees.
We're going to show you everything. You have to trust me, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The minute you stop trusting me, the vision will stop.
I trust you, bro. Vision?
Please, just trust him.
Okay, man. I'll trust him. I looked to James, unsure of what was going on, but I nodded. If this was the only way to learn, then this was my chance to know. It's probably not the only way, it's just probably the quickest way. Otherwise, they'd probably spend a couple days explaining it to you. Damien gently placed his hands on each side of my head, gently pressing his thumbs onto the skin above my eyebrows. I could only stare at Damien as his eyes began to glow gold, and energy began to be both pulled out of me and forced into my head. Well, within seconds, my vision went black once again. I was unsure of what Damien was doing, but soon shapes and textures slowly began to appear around me. Whoa, sweet. I found myself sitting on a stone floor in the middle of what looked like a fantasy throne room. Where am I? I looked down at myself to stand, only to see my body as translucent as a ghost. Whoa. I jumped up and inspected my hands in a sudden panic. I was see-through. Why? What was going on?
How dare they try to negotiate with me?
Whoa.
Do they not know whom they speak to?
Is this the Demon King? Or whatever? I grasped and ran behind a nearby pillar away from the voice. The sound of his anger and words frightened every bone in my body, turning me into a frightened child.
My lord, please calm yourself.
Ew, dude. This is like, so he's like the jester or something? That's gross.
Calm?
Oh my god.
Merely testing my resolve. I have more than half of a mind to send my greatest armies to take what should be mine. They are mere insects in the way of my kingdom's expansion.
They merely asked for a marriage joining.
Oh, that guy sounds literally gross.
So I'm to bow to them and share my land that I have so rightfully conquered?
Damn. Whoa. Of course, that's what the guy would look like. I peeked from behind the pillar to see a large demon covered in royal clothes, but buff enough to be a military commander. His rage practically emanated from his body as he growled at his servant.
They are willing to give their land to you, sire. All they ask is for one of your sons to marry their daughter, whom I might add is as beautiful as can be.
Yo, he looks ridiculous, dude.
This is ridiculous.
What?
To suggest that I need their approval to take their land is beyond insanity. What makes them think I care about their precious daughter?
I mean, it would save some demon lives, not that you care, but either way.
Did I mention that she is a prodigy of her kind, sire?
A prodigy?
Yes, my lord. This succubus is a master of her skills in magic and mind manipulation. She is said to sway armies with a snap of her fingers, despite being as young as she is.
What?
Impossible.
If only it were, sire. This succubus is dangerous, but would be a great asset to have should we agree to this arrangement. The only reason she cannot faze you, my lord, is because you are the strongest demon in the plains.
Damn, for real? Like legit? Maybe that's why he's the demon lord, I guess.
Is this supposed to change my mind?
Oh, shit.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, you're about to get, slayed, my dude.
You are doing a terrible job at convincing me.
My apologies, sire.
He's just a lowly demon. Don't worry about it. He's not like a freaking lawyer, bro. I was lost. I could tell that they were talking about Diana, but why?
Father.
Ew, dude. Father. I quickly turned my head to see another demon who looked like a mere child, staring at the demon commander on the throne. Oh, it's one of the boys? It has to be, right? Father?
Ray Strauss. Have you finished your training?
It is James.
Yes, Father.
Then what do you want?
I want to be with my brothers the best of the day, Father.
What? The demon commander walked to the young demon and gripped his hair, picking him off the ground and forcing him to look up at his snarl. The young demon, however, looked unfazed. He doesn't give a shit.
Arrogance. Why should I allow you to be with them? I should kill you for your lack of respect to me.
What? Your own son, my dude.
Because I want to be with them, Father.
Well, at least he cares, you know? I could only stare as the young demon faced his father. Despite the massive difference between them, this young demon seemed weaker and easy to kill versus the demon commander. Why would this man kill his son, though? Was this commander that ruthless? I mean, based on what we've heard so far. However, I wasn't expecting him to laugh and release the young demon.
Good! Assertive even in the face of danger. That is why you are my favorite son.
Oh shit, best not let the other ones hear that. I could only stare wide-eyed as the commander placed his hand on the demon's shoulder.
Very well. Go. Tomorrow, you will show me your training.
Damn. The little demon grinned widely before running off.
I have a thought.
Yes, my lord?
How old is this daughter?
As old as your 5th, sire.
What? If he's the oldest and he's a little kid, you know, James, then holy crap. He must be like a baby.
Do you believe this proposal is worth it?
Yes, sire.
Tell those insects that they are safe for now. I will consider their offer.
Well, maybe you leave the word insects out of it. I think that might stir some hostility.
Sire, are you certain?
Did I stutter? Now go!
Oh, shit. The demon servant quickly ran off, but as soon as he passed the pillar I was hiding behind, he, along with the commander vanished into thin air. What had happened? I didn't get the time to try to figure that out before a demon who looked around my age walked into the room reading a book. That's probably James. Is that?
Raystrow, your nose is stuck in those books.
This freaking guy again.
Do you not lift your head up from them once in a while?
That voice. I circled around the pillar to see a second demon. Oh, I bet you that, you know what, that sounds like Sam or something, or Eric, leaning against another pillar and smirking at Raystro.
Aren't you supposed to be with your mother practicing the harpsichord?
Get dominated, whoever that is.
I am, but I had a feeling that you were in danger.
That's Damien, I think.
In danger? What are you?
Attack!
What the fuck? All the other brothers? All of a sudden, 3 shadows zipped through the room and slammed into Raystro, forcing him to fall to the ground and drop his book. Oh, they're fucking around. As the sight cleared for me, there were 3 other demons in a dog pile with Raystro at the bottom.
Get off!
He's so pissed off.
No way! You haven't had a break in months from those stupid books. It's time for punishment!
Oh, shit.
Death by brotherhood!
This actually sounds kind of funny.
No more reading!
Ew, who is that? Is that Damien?
I told you that you were in danger.
No, that's Eric or something. I suddenly knew who these demons were. It's the boys. Even in the demon world, their brotherly connection was astounding. They were merely younger versions of themselves. One of the demons, who I assumed was Matthew, grabbed the book from the floor and opened it, reading it mockingly.
How can you read this, Raystro? It's all about war strategy. It's boring.
What do you mean? That stuff's actually kind of interesting.
I have to, Zakaru. Get off!
Oh my god.
There's only one thing you need to know about strategy. Kill them all. Take no prisoners.
Well, I guess that's one way, I guess. It's less finesse, but it works, I guess.
You sound just like father.
Ew. These younger versions sound weird, dude. I couldn't help but giggle. It was cute to see them acting childish with each other. Eventually, James managed to push his brothers off of him and stand brushing himself off.
You all are reckless. At least we have fun.
Oh, damn.
It's true. You haven't been with us in weeks. Don't you think it's time for a break?
I'm sure Father won't mind.
Yeah, right. Did you see the guy?
But I have to... I know you want to, Raystro.
Damn it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna jump in.
What is going on here?
Oh, never mind. Party's over. Dad's home. I shot my head to the voice to see the commander. Aged a little, staring at the boys with his arms crossed his chest. Damien quickly dashed and hid behind Sam, peeking over his shoulder to see the large commander.
Nothing is going on. We just passed by each other.
What, they can't see each other? Are you kidding?
Then why does your brother have your book?
Oh, man.
I was showing him what I was learning, Father.
Return to your studies, Raystrow. The rest of you out of my sight. Do not disturb your brother again.
I could only stare as James gently took his book and, without looking at his brothers, returned to reading. The commander walked past the remaining brothers, growling at Sam and Damien. Damn, yo. They were just trying to have some fun before leaving the room. That's pretty harsh. What was up with that?
Don't worry about it. We'll find a way to get him back.
Ezra, you're quiet. What did you hear?
He's going to a negotiation meeting. He's going to arrange a marriage.
A marriage? For who?
Probably the older dude.
It must be for one of us.
He seems more proud of him anyway. I don't know why.
He hasn't decided who will marry her. It's a girl from a kingdom he wants to take over.
But that's uncharacteristic of him. Usually he'd just attack with the army.
Whatever the case is, one of us is getting married.
I hope it isn't me.
Matthew, why are you being such a little nerd, dude?
What about Raystrow? He's the eldest.
It would make sense, but having a succubus marrying one of us means that she'll be practically married to all of us.
I like how that's, you know, it's kind of ironic that Eric is the one that said that. He probably wants that, to be honest.
Well, what should we do?
Before the conversation could continue, the boys vanished into thin air, fading into different colored mists. They were replaced by an older Damien and Matthew sitting with each other in the middle of the throne room. It's probably a different section of time.
Do you think we should?
Guys, just put some clothes on, at least. Jeez.
I really want to.
What's happening?
I want to as well. Still, it'll be hard to convince Raystero, since he's the one about to be married, and he's the favorite.
We don't know that, Zakeru. Maybe she's set to marry you.
What, dude, why? Ew, man.
No way! I don't want to get married.
You haven't even seen her yet.
I don't think you'll have a problem with that baby face of yours.
Oh, damn. Sam, coming out of nowhere, man. He's coming out his throat right there. Sam, your horns are unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
What are you two talking about?
Why does he have such ridiculous horns?
We got into contact with the human world again.
Those things look heavy.
Come on, Ezreal. You give humans too much attention.
No way, you gotta listen. They apparently have stores and books and schools and stuff.
So what? It's full of humans who piss on each other for no reason. They're no better than the devil spawn.
Oh, insults.
Nuh-uh, the one we were talking to wasn't like that.
How do you know, Zakeru?
That was probably the grandpa. I bet you anything that's who they're talking about.
Because I do.
Damn, with your little baby horns and whatnot.
What is going on here?
Oh my god.
They want to go to the human world.
The human world?
Raystero, think about it. You won't have to marry that girl and be the heir anymore. You could be with us, and we could make lives for ourselves in the new world.
What if he wants to get married?
Now you're just talking nonsense.
I vote that we do it.
I don't know why, but his looks the weirdest. Like, I don't feel like those horns fit him very well. I don't know why. I really don't. I can't. I don't know why I'm judging horns, but everybody else kind of seems on point. You know, this dude is pretty, you know, he's crazy, man. And his horns are crazy. This guy is kind of calm. He's got the calm horns. I don't know why the rounded ones are calm. He's young. His horns are small. This guy is a leader, so he's got the ram horns. And this guy over here, I don't know. I feel like his horn should be back or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Huh? Oh, not you two.
Think about it. This may be our chance to finally get away from this political nonsense we're stuck in. We may be nobles, but we're still our own beings.
Raystero is in.
Oh, he's the first one in, man. He don't want to get married. What? Dang.
Ezreal!
Wow, what a guy, dude.
Whoa, so how do we get there?
Are you kidding me? You don't even know how we'd get there.
A simple spell should work, but it would require someone from the human world to help us get there.
That's Matthew's friend.
We can ask him.
Oh, he'd definitely help us.
I'm not so sure about...
Raystero, Aren't you tired of pleasing Father all of the time?
I am, but...
If you stay, you'll be married off and become ruler of Father's kingdom. You'll have no time for yourself or with us, and you'll be constantly at war with the other realms for power. You'll most likely turn into the spitting image of Father.
Damn, that don't sound like no fun at all, man. You don't like that.
What he's saying is, get your head out of your ass and let's go. If you don't say yes, I'll drag your princely ass with us. I don't care what that bastard of a father wants.
Oh, man. He's pretty husky, man. I don't know if you would just be dissing him like that.
Come on, Raistero.
Just stop biting your lip and let's go.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, bet.
What's the plan?
I couldn't believe what was happening. I was seeing the history of their lives before my eyes. They were nobles, and James was the heir to the kingdom. The commander ruled. Even more so, he was going to be married to Diana. They sacrificed everything to leave and be together. They'd rather be free than remain in their noble roles. I started to feel a little jealous. They were able to leave while I was still expected to be what my father wanted me to be. How they were able to leave was uncertain still, but I knew I would learn in time. I closed my eyes and mentally asked Damien to end the vision. As soon as I asked, the world around me slowly vanished, and I was brought back to the bedroom where I sat with my head nestled in Damien's hands. I really hope that she doesn't learn again that basically these guys took like half of her grandfather's life and that Diana took the other half, because if that happens and she knows that Diana took the other half, all hell's breaking loose. Like, I can already see it. I mean, we even learned the magic, didn't we? I think we looked at the book in this one too, so crazy, man. My vision began to clear, letting me fully see the boys around me, all with concerned faces.
So, you now know exactly who we are.
Yeah, and how they looked. I mean, well, that didn't look that bad. He wanted to conceal himself? Like, if that's how he actually looked? I don't know. It didn't look that different to me, just horns and paint. Diana is the girl you were arranged to marry?
Not anymore. Once we left, the arrangement was broken. With no sons to marry off, her dad couldn't go through with the marriage deal.
Does he have a wife? I mean, maybe he could have done it.
If Diana is here for us, that means she's trying to save her kingdom from being attacked.
That's not true. She wants to rule our kingdom. Having one of us will give her the right to our kingdom as much as we'd have right over hers.
Yeah, we learned that in the one ending where we became that demon lord.
So she's a gold digger.
Oh my gosh.
Well, with a kingdom like ours, what succubus wouldn't want to marry us for it?
It all made sense. She wanted them so that she could finally take over an opposing kingdom. She knew that, despite her powers, she wouldn't be able to fight against their father. So she had to find another way in. That manipulative... Before I could continue, I felt my head suddenly get heavy and dizzy. I gripped my head, mewling under my breath. What's mewling? What the?
I took too much. I'm so sorry.
Damien, what are you doing?
Rest now. There's no need to do anything more today.
Damn, I feel like we're really lazy in this game. I guess you can't help it when demons are just sucking the life out of you. The boys suddenly rushed over and helped me lay back down as my vision was painted in white polka dots. I needed sleep badly, instantly. I closed my eyes and let darkness consume me. After what seemed like hours, I finally woke up, slightly refreshed. Only slightly? My body knew that if I slept any longer, I'd be up all night. Psh, man, that's life, dude. Which was not part of the plan for the day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. Oh, don't tell me he's just been chilling here looking at us. I don't know. I didn't know what I was expecting. Dude, have you just been staring at us, man? It's weird. I mean, I know it's like a lovey-dovey thing, but it's still creepy. Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, oh, at least he was sitting, was James, rousing himself up to see me awake. I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
Oh, you're awake. Good. Oh, how do you feel?
Oh, you stayed up the whole time? Hey, I'm better. James nodded before he gently reached over and ran his hand through my hair, examining my face with soft sadness.
I'm sorry this is all happening to you. I really wish there was something I could do to fix all of this.
It's not that bad, you know what I mean? The only bad thing now is Diana, but I guess that's a pretty bad thing. James, it's not your fault.
No, if we never came, then you'd never be targeted by either Malix or Diana.
I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear anymore. James, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you all stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped James's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about this whole ordeal. Dinah was desperate, and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault. She was desperate enough to hunt them down. However, I was curious. So James, you're a demon prince? James then twirled a strand of my hair around his finger, staring at it.
Yes, I am. I was.
You sound like ashamed of that. I don't know why. You didn't seem like it was that big of a deal before. Was?
I was a demon prince when I lived in the Abyssal Plains. I didn't enjoy a single minute of being the heir.
Damn.
The only moments I truly enjoyed were when I was with my brothers. Thus, I left with them to come here.
James looked to me with a thoughtful look on his face. I stared back, wondering what was going through his mind. He then smiled before taking off his glasses and placing them on me. What the heck? We probably look so nerdy. Can we see this? I was surprised, but instead of seeing him, I saw dark gold and purple magic swirl in front of my eyes through the glass. Yo! They're magical glasses! Yo! What the heck? The vision cleared and suddenly was back in the demon castle. No, not this again. Didn't this screw us up? I looked around, feeling stuck in place, but my eyes instantly landed on a demon version of James. What the heck? He was sitting on the throne of the main hall, reading over a book with an intense expression. It was kind of cute to see, but he read in silence.
You'll wear out your eyes if you read too much.
I'm gonna wear out my eyes looking at you. That's some shit right there. Damn. Your horns are all cracked too, man. You don't have manicures in your realm? Damn, son. James looked up from his book to see a figure materialize in front of him. It was an older woman with a black cloak and aged horns. I could see she had power, though, and it gave me shivers to look at her.
Sirona, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at the Lord gathering with my father?
Is she his wife? What happened?
I should, yes. But I had to stop by and see the Demon Lord's favorite son before I head in.
Oh man, she sounds like ridiculous.
I am honored. However, I must apologize and return to my reading.
Of course, of course. Wouldn't want to make the Demon Lord angry now, would you?
What is happening? I could see James's eye twitch a bit at her comment. However, James simply bowed his head and went back to his book in silence. Sirona shook her head and let out a chuckle. Oh, this is going to be a gross chuckle.
What will you do when you become the Demon Lord? It's such a big responsibility.
Is it? I mean, you just kill stuff, don't you? I can't imagine it's, like, pleasant. James looked up once again, confused at the question. Sirona simply smiled and began to walk away.
Think about that.
Gross. Now he's got to read. James and I watched her walk away, both of us... He's biting his lip again. Both of us with the same surprised and confused expression. I looked back to James to see him press his lips together and stare at the floor. I could feel James in the real world gently slide the glasses from my face and place them back on his. That's crazy. It took me a second to recenter my vision, but I then looked to James, who smiled at me.
It was then that I decided to find my brothers. Little did I know that they were wanting me to come on a trip that would make me leave my entire realm to be in a new world.
He was probably super happy too, to be honest. I stared up at him, surprised, before bringing my head gently back onto his cheek and running a thumb softly under his eye. He looked healthier and a lot less tired than when I saw him in the vision. Something about that made me happy. James gently leaned into my hand, closing his eyes and relaxing. He then smiled, or slightly smiled, trying to joke.
So, how does it feel to hold the affections of an ex-demon prince?
The frick? I stared, feeling my cheeks grow red in surprise and embarrassment. But I smiled and giggled slightly, running my thumb back and forth along his cheek gently. James frowned, making me stop moving my thumb as he stared at me. Oh, damn, what?
I can promise you, that was no life to live.
Oh, shit, man, that's crazy. But it was your home.
A home is where you can be yourself, not tied to your duty.
That's true. James gently ran his hand along my cheek, gingerly outlining the edge of my eye and ear with his thumb. What is up with this? It's some weird stuff, man.
Home is where all I have to do is care about the ones close to me.
Oh, James. James. James smiled and gently leaned in, kissing my forehead. I felt a small shiver run down my spine from his kiss. Noting that he sneakily took some energy from me in that little kiss. What a guy, man. A savage to the very end.
No, you need to rest. You're not fully recovered. You might as well rest until dinner is ready.
James smiled and gently pressed me back down onto the bed, leaning his forehead on mine. We might as well. We've already pretty much straddled this dude in the library. So might as well steal a kiss. Oh, man. Out of playful fun, I lifted my head and gently kissed James, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. James stared in surprise before kissing me back, caressing my cheek, slightly melting at the touch of our lips. Oh, Jesus. This might turn into something more. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away from us with a smile. He gently licked his lips. Oh, geez. He's tasting that, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a satisfied hum before nuzzling my forehead.
Rest.
The fuck? And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. Always ruining the mood, man. Jeez. I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. Something wasn't right. I felt it in my core. She must be here. Oh man, Diana's back. The thought of her in the house infuriated me beyond belief. I had to make sure she was not here. Did we hear the laugh? Because that's pretty that's pretty confirming that she's here. I rolled out of bed and quickly left my room, wandering the halls and listening closely. She was a demon, but I was listening very intently. There was no way she would have been able to sneak up on me. I know you're here. Where are you? That was so weird. I know you're here. Where are you? I could feel myself growl. It wasn't a matter of fear that she'd take away the boys anymore. Her very existence had lit a fire of rage within my gut, which only grew as each day went by. This feud was getting on my nerves, and I knew it would not end well for one of us. Oh man, what, you're not sure you're gonna win? No, we gotta have some confidence, man. I was going to lose that demon bitch. Oh my god. Wow. Oh dang, we're going in.
Diana, what are you doing here?
Dude, I can hear whispering. Are you in the other room? My heart stopped. Diana was with James. My mind flew into slow motion, playing fake images of Diana trying to seduce James in my head to further fan the angry flame inside of me. I instinctively followed James's voice and approached the study. The door was open just a crack, wide enough to peek in without being noticed. Let's see what's going on. I peeked inside to see James by the bookshelf with Diana in one of the armchairs looking to him. Why is the lighting different? It's like a really soft lighting. That's weird.
Silly man, why do you think I'm here?
Oh my.
To be fairly honest, I don't really care.
Damn, get wrecked, son. Get wrecked. Oh, how are you going to respond to that?
I'm hurt. Wounded, truly. You don't care that I came to this pathetic little world just for you?
That's so heartwarming.
I'm sorry. Let me make this clear. You are not welcome here, so I suggest leaving.
Damn, that's like a gentleman's boot right there.
Is that any way to speak to your fiancé?
Diana wasn't his fiancé anymore. Why was she speaking as if the arrangement was still on?
Our arrangement was broken when I left the Abyssal Plains. You are no longer my fiancé.
What a stubborn man. Just like your father. Well, you should know. He decreed that should you return home, you'll maintain your status and keep your birthright.
I'm sure his dad is so pissed. James would be the heir again? Why?
I don't want it.
Oh.
You don't want it. You'd give up the...
The what?
I said I don't want my damned birthright.
Oh.
What birthright? It's imprisonment. A life sentence. Am I not allowed to be selfish for once in my lifetime?
Yo, she's shocked. She probably thinks she's gonna get torn apart, yo.
It's your reason for your birth. Do you not realize what you have?
Oh, there's about to be like a slight demon quarrel in my library. You've got some rare books. You might want to move this outside. I could feel James's anger emanating from the crack in the door. Fighting with Diana's tension, Diana and James were both matched, staring each other down. Damn, this is about to be epic.
I know exactly what I had. That's all behind me. I'm done with that. To hell with my birthright.
Oh, shit.
To hell with your birthright. You truly think you can decide that? You are the first son of the Demon Lord. You are the heir to the throne, and I am your bride, the next Demon Queen.
Damn. Why was Diana so desperate? It irked me to see how desperate she was to get James to return.
Raestrow, you...
What happened? What just happened? Dude, that was like, what? He just pile drive her into the ground. All of a sudden, James ran at Diana and pinned her to the floor by her... I knew it! Yo, he like choke slammed her. Oh man. I felt the need to jump in, but I knew James wasn't trying to do anything romantic. I really doubt that. Like, unless he's a super aggressive romantic. His voice sent shivers down my spine as they continued to speak with his hand at her throat.
And what gives you the right to use my name like that? Only demons of the same blood are permitted to use each other's true names.
Oh, damn.
When our families arranged our marriage, I was given permission to use your name as mine. That's what you are, James. You are my husband. I am your queen. You are my Raestrow. I am your Iseud.
Oh my. Oh my, I'm sure we're not liking this. I could hear James growling in anger like he was ready to bite Diana's head off like a wolf would a small deer. That's a lovely picture. I felt myself growl quietly to myself as well. However, James pushed himself off of the floor and returned to the opposite side of the room, away from the prone Diana.
I do not belong to you. I belong to her.
Yo, that's some stuff right there. She's so, like, disappointed. Look at her face.
The human girl? You must be joking. A human like her can't possibly provide you what you need. She's a human. You're a demon.
Thanks for that, Captain Obvious. I felt the urge to storm in and shut her mouth. That probably wouldn't go well. It would give away my position, but I was growing extremely tired of Diana. I'm going to save, because I have a feeling that if we bust in, I want to bust in. We've been feisty this whole time, so I think I'm going to do that one, but let me save first. We're going to barge in and set her straight. This is probably going to be really entertaining. Oh, he likes that. Oh, look at him. He's like, oh, yes. And she's surprised too. I decided to be assertive and quickly stepped into the room, throwing the door to the study wide open. Diana and James looked at me in surprise as I glared daggers at Diana. Get out. Oh! Is that a good idea? We're about to go through the window, dude.
Well, well, little human. You're awfully nosy in business that doesn't concern you.
I don't care. Oh, it does. It would have been if it said he does. Yeah, it kind of does concern us, honestly. I mean, this is, we're with this dude here.
Does it?
He's loving it.
I don't think a human would understand the importance of this affair.
I don't know about that. You're asking him to leave to be someone he doesn't want to be. That's not gonna happen.
Oh? And what makes you so sure about that?
Please bust out the magic. Every time you're in a poopy situation, you always don't bust out the magic. Oh, this is gonna decide the end of the game. I can already feel it. Here we go. We're doing it. 3 hearts and we just got like a triple heart. That's epic, dude. Diana stared in shock at my exclamation. Was it not what she expected? I didn't care what she expected. I wasn't going to lose the man I had grown to love. Oh, so sweet.
You love him?
Was that not apparent before? Like, what do you think? We just let every demon stay just because? Yes, I love him. Diana's lips twitched. Ew. She's pissed. The edges curled into an amusing smirk as she stared at me.
So what? A human's love isn't enough to understand the situation. A demon can never reciprocate human feeling.
He's loving this the whole time. He's like, I knew it. Freaking savage. To both of our surprise, however, James stepped forward and put an arm around me, pulling me close to his body. What is this, like a jealousy trap or something? I don't know.
I love her.
Oh, get dominated, Diana. You might want to step out right now. You're like a third wheel. I saw the confidence Diana had shattered in her eyes as she stared at James at his words. Damn, I could see the struggle in her face to try and find some weakness in James, in me, anything.
A demon love a human? Impossible.
How? What do you mean?
It's only impossible because you don't have the capability to love. This woman has given so much to shelter me and my brothers and has given me her heart to cherish. I'd rather care for this woman for the rest of my days than spend an eternity on the demon throne. especially if the queen is you.
Yo, man. You know, I really like James's style. He's aggressive, but he's polite. I feel like if we went with someone like Sam, he would be literally just destroying this conversation, like just being an absolute ass, pretty much. But I like James's style. He's setting it to her in a somewhat nice way. Dinah took a step back, physically feeling the sting of James's words in her chest. She had lost. I could see it in her eyes. Diana's eyes grew dull as she glared at me and James. It seemed almost uncharacteristic of her, yet it was something I wasn't surprised to see come from her face. I mean, you know, if you really look at the situation, even though, like, yeah, she's trying to interrupt the love, she really is doing, well, I mean, she's not doing it for her kingdom, but I mean, the Demon Lord's probably going to slaughter her people, so that sucks.
Very well. Fine. Valet.
Just into the ground. And with that, Diana faded into the ground into a purple pentagram, crossing her arms and almost looking upset. James and I were then left alone, left with the silence of the room. I wonder if she really did love him or if it was just about the conquering of the other kingdom. I finally let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest, relaxing from the ordeal. James stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
Are you okay?
Dang, darn tootin', man. I nodded in response, unable to speak so immediately after being surprised. James let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. I gently placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. I wasn't sure what to do. All of this was spinning in my head in circles before I decided to simply look up at the man holding me. Oh, God. James smiled back happily in response. James gently leaned in and kissed my forehead before slightly pulling away from the embrace. What's wrong, bro?
Come, you need to rest still.
What do you... I'm pretty sure after that ordeal, we're pretty hyped. We're like all amped up. James then wrapped an arm around my shoulders and lowered his other arm beneath my knees. Oh, he's carrying us. I easily held on to him as he lifted me up like a blushing bride and carried me out of the room towards my room. James was kind enough to know my mind and would not force the issue no matter what. He was too sweet and I didn't deserve his kindness. James gently lowered me to my bed before petting my head with a loving smile. I was beaming in happiness. Oh, this is sweet, dude. As James kissed my forehead and turned to leave, I slowly sank into the covers, relaxing. The sound of footsteps echoed before finally I was alone. I hope this doesn't end in tragedy, dude. I feel like Diana is not it doesn't feel like the person to just straight give up. Like, I feel like she's going to come back and, I don't want to think of it, but like, you know, maybe kill the dudes. I don't want that to happen, man. But I feel like that's what's going to happen. I rested my head against the pillows, enjoying the cool they provided as I closed my eyes. I'll be ready when I'm ready. What? Will it be soon? Who knew? All I knew at that moment was that I made a choice I felt was right. What's happening? There's no words. It's darkness. Do we skip?
I will not leave here empty-handed.
No! Dude, I knew it! Yo, she best not. We have magic abilities. Let's please use them, as baby as they might be. I tried to open my eyes at the sound, but I felt my eyes remain shut. I instinctively wanted to move, but my body felt frozen. What was Diana doing? I felt my body lift up from the bed, leaving me to hover and quake in fear. I wanted to scream, but my voice was frozen as well. No! I felt Diana move to angle her face over mine. I wanted to move away, but at the same time, I felt like I was blissfully melting in her gaze.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
No! Do not! She's gonna straight off me, dude? Diana finally leaned in and kissed me. I tightened my closed eyes, feeling the need to bite her lips, but finding no muscles in my face, listening to my mental commands. What did she do to me? I didn't want to enjoy it, but every single nerve in my body was flaring in excitement and pleasure as she kissed me. I felt my energy drain slowly but forcefully from my body. Was she using her magic to force energy at... I mean, yes, that's probably what's happening. It seemed like forever, but finally Diana pulled away from the kiss with an audible lick of her lips. Everybody likes tasting it. She lowered me back onto the patio and chuckled. For some reason, I could feel her presence. She felt stronger, more powerful. It was almost like looking at a new Diana. As I lowered back into bed, Diana chuckled at me. I grew even more fearful. What was she gonna... Wait, was she going to go for the boys now? I really hope not, dude. That would just seriously suck. To my surprise, her presence vanished and I felt at ease. It was like an on and off switch Diana pulled on me. Was this normal? Hell no. Oh no, she was a major nut job. I relaxed slightly, trying to sleep again. Thankfully, I succeeded. Yo, man, I feel like we're gonna wake up super old. I don't know why, but like, if you suck that much energy out of somebody, I just feel like we're gonna, like, you know, we're gonna wake up like mad crinkly, dude. Damn, the rest of the story can almost be passed over. Okay, so it looks like this is the end of the game. This almost is like always the ending thing. With Diana gone, my life returned to normal with school and my friends. I suppose we're not old because my friends would be like, whoa, what happened to you? Not remembering what had happened. It was as if magic never appeared. What? What do you mean? James cared for me and we remained close to each other. It was sweet, like a simple fairy tale ending. He didn't step over my boundaries and I deeply appreciated it. James remained faithful to me, living with me and serving me like a servant. I needed the help around the house anyway. It was almost funny to think about an ex-prince demon becoming a servant to a human girl. Wait, so we still know. She didn't take our memories. The others decided to leave on their own accord. What? They knew that my future would only need James at my side. So they each decided to start their own lives. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad they didn't go back. James was heartbroken at first, but understood that he had to let his brothers grow like he did. I mean, they could visit, right? It's not that they just never come back. I felt bad as well for being closer to James than the others, but they reassured me that I was okay and that they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. But what of my future? Well, it was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step into the light of the Anderson Toys Company and, with the help of his demon powers and leadership charisma, he managed to influence not only the entire board, but my father as well into letting him run for CEO. Oh my gosh. And I was beyond shocked. How James managed to do all that was beyond me. But when the vote was called, James had taken over the company I was destined to have. No. I mean, I guess it's kind of good because I don't think she really wanted that, but that's crazy. He just did that. He vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and help the company become an even grander company. For a demon, it was simple to make a company grand. I guess that's true. That being said, I was still scared of where the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help James build the company? Did I want to venture off on my own? James reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do, promising that I came first before the company he had come to reign over. Dang, I was grateful and would never forget that promise. One morning, I woke up and took in all that had happened as if it were all a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic, it all was surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it could have been all a dream. My fears vanished, however, as a knock appeared at my bedroom door. Come in! I don't know why we sound old. Anyway, I hope we're not old. Please don't be old, please. The door opened to reveal James with a small tray of food for me. A vase with a golden rose sat beside a hot plate of pancakes, eggs, and bacon, decorating my breakfast beautifully.
Good morning.
Hello. I simply smiled. It wasn't a dream. I still had James. I still felt the magic in the air around me. I wasn't alone. And, you know, I really hope that we're not, like, in a coma and then she casts a spell over us to make us think this is real and that it's actually not. That would suck, too. James walked over and placed the tray on the bed across my legs.
I hope you had a good sleep.
Yeah, it was lovely. I did. I had a dream about everything that happened to us.
Oh? What do you remember?
Everything. How we met, how you cared for me, everything. It almost made me believe it was all a dream. Oh, please don't tell me. I feel like the way that this conversation's going, it might be, dude. James smiled at me and got on one knee beside the bed, taking one of my hands in his.
If this was all a dream, may we never wake up.
This isn't instilling confidence in my theory. James gently kissed my hand, making my heart flutter slightly. His devotion to me was beyond my imagination. That was my happily ever after. Fantastic. I really thought that ending was going to sour for some reason. I don't know why. I'm really glad that it didn't, though. That was a nice ending, though, guys. All right, guys, we're going to end it right there. I do hope that you enjoyed this one. I felt kind of bad ending it with like pretty much a cliffhanger last time, so I did want to get at least one ending here, and we experienced so much different stuff that I felt it was appropriate to only include one ending, because a lot of the, the middle ground and a lot of the, the inner story was actually a lot different. This was so much different than what we experienced before, and I was also informed by the developer, by the creator of the game, that most of the guys' endings are similar. It's either most of their endings are similar or most of the process you know, to get to their endings is similar. So if you guys want to see more of it, I'll definitely go back. I'm not saying I won't go back. If you want to see more of it, I'll definitely do that. Because the only other one I was really gunning for was Naomi, just because her process to getting to the end is probably a lot different. Suzu was in the arcade. Naomi's probably in the cafe or something along the lines of that, you know, maybe a bit more romantic, just kind of knowing her character a little bit. I feel like that's kind of what she would want, or that's kind of the route that it would take. But other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed this ending in particular. I mean, I enjoyed my original ending. I feel like there were a lot of good endings along the way. I feel like the Suzu ending was pretty good too, but this one felt like it just kind of ended just right. You know what I mean? Nobody was hurt. You know, we're with James. The rest of the guys are, I'm assuming, happy, living their own lives. Our friends are good to go. We're safe. We have our memories. I mean, everything just kind of turned out good. Well, actually, I'm sorry. No, Diana is the only person that got screwed over here, I think, because she didn't get who she wanted, and she had to return to the demon world, and I'm assuming her people are all dead. Or a lot of them. I mean, it really sucks, but I guess that's just life in the demon world. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you rate the video what you think it deserved. If you did enjoy, consider sharing the video as well. And if you want to become a sage in training, make sure you subscribe today. This has been MrBayeasy, your favorite sage, and I'll see you in the next video.